Hey, happy Monday. Thanks for joining the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'm Jared Floyd. My apologies. My intention was to be here 5 minutes earlier, but I was distracted by a boneless chocolate chip cookie. What is a boneless chocolate chip cookie, you may ask? In the Floyd family, that is a chocolate chip cookie without chocolate chips. It has been introduced to us recently, and it is delicious. Highly recommend. Today's forecast made possible by United Way of Northeast Louisiana and their 211 initiative. Between charging phones and prepping your kit, save 211 as your disaster helpline. It's a free call 24/7. Across the region, there, if you look at the satellite and you can kind of look from along the coastline inland over the last couple of hours, we're starting to see a pretty healthy little sea breeze moving in. The relatively cooler air from the ocean, or the Gulf, the northern Gulf, making its way inland through the course of the day on the back of the southerly winds. And then it gets heated up through the afternoon, gets lifted in the atmosphere, and oftentimes you get a few thunderstorms. And as you take a look at the radar, and again, every shingle radar product made possible by Brown's Roofing shows along with that, we also have a frontal system, or a weak frontal system off to the north, and that's what's driving some headaches across central and western sections of Arkansas, or did drive some headaches, excuse me, a little earlier in the day. In fact, that's where we start, where we still have some flash flood warnings just to the north of I-40. Activity continues to kind of ebb and flow through the area, but there was a lot of flash flooding concerns along I-40 from Clarksville to near Russellville, kind of Pope County and back to the west, and then even as far east as into Conway County, Morrilton, some of those areas as you drive from Russellville into Little Rock. Those are some areas that were kind of hit this morning. Again, that's outside of our area, but if you're traveling in those regions, you obviously would want to know about it. As you take a look at the radar across the Mississippi Valley, and again, most of what we've seen today has been fairly limited, but it has been a noticeable uptick in radar activity. And so that's enough to at least warrant us bumping rain chances from 20 to 30% for much of the area today. And we've also bumped the rain chances. Stanley and I, the chief forecaster, have bumped rain chances up to 30% as we go into the day tomorrow, too. And that leads into the frontal system that brings the rain chances on Wednesday. Farther southward, if you're traveling south across central Louisiana into southern Louisiana, there's some scattered storms and stuff as well, even along I-10 from east to Lafayette toward Baton Rouge. There's some storms out there. Again, central Louisiana stuff. Keep an eye on that, but also Nick Mikulus and Sinlaw Weather are a great follow for all your central Louisiana forecasts, severe weather, and stuff like that. A look at the western sections of our area, where the rainfall has been a little bit more muted and spotty today. Again, we'll keep an eye on things as we go into the afternoon. It's a warm one. Most of us are back into the low to mid-80s, some areas touching the 90-degree mark, but the cloud cover building, and a lot of us will probably end the day in the low end of the 90s. As I mentioned, winds are back out of the south, and they are a bit breezy at times, generally running in the 5 to 10 mile an hour range. You can see Futurecast, again, made possible by Bayou Power Sports. I-20 frontage road in Monroe shows the isolated to widely scattered activity that will kind of fester through the afternoon. Most of the rain chances drop off overnight, and then we kind of repeat this whole process to a certain degree tomorrow. I know that the Futurecast that you're seeing here is not as aggressive in bringing rain in tomorrow afternoon, but I think it's a trend enough to follow to keep the rain chances at 30% through the day on Tuesday. And then late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, we start bringing the new cold front into the region. And so that could bring some storms in across our northern and western counties and parishes. Think southern Arkansas and far northwestern Louisiana, even during the pre-dawn hours on Wednesday. And then we bring the rest of those storms through, generally probably on a weakening trend in terms of organized storm threats, but still bringing widespread rains, gusty winds, and lightning, things like that, through the day on Wednesday, especially the early half of the day on Wednesday. In terms of what you just saw, this is what it spits out in terms of rainfall totals as we go through the next 48 to 60, 72-ish hours. And obviously, thunderstorms will drive thunderstorm-driven rains, meaning that not everyone will see the highest totals. And what you see here, you really shouldn't take as set in stone by any stretch. This is just, again, a computer model output throwing out, well, if the storms came through like this, these are the types of rain totals it would throw out. And you can see how much they vary from a few hundredths of an inch of rain for some to some areas picking up in those storm-driven rains, an inch and a half to maybe even 2 inches of rain. So those are kind of the scenarios that are painted through the day on Wednesday. Severe weather threat for the rest of the day is really generally to our northwest, out over portions of Oklahoma, and then that starts to sink into the area tomorrow, late tomorrow for most of us, as the severe weather threat's a marginal risk level 1 through the day, but that's, again, mainly focused late tomorrow night into early Wednesday. Then the rest of the severe weather threat for Wednesday focuses on the remainder of the area, again, mainly in the form of damaging wind gusts, some hail not out of the question. The tornado threat is low. I wouldn't consider it zero, especially as now we get into latter parts of September into October. Wind profiles start changing and things of that nature, and just the overall setup just favors storms that could, in theory, produce a brief tornado. Again, not expected to be a widespread issue. This looks to be mainly a wind concern, but obviously something that we'll watch. And then on top of that, any thunderstorm-driven rains could lead to the possibility of some excessive rainfall. Again, storm-driven rains and some fairly dry ground could lead to some runoff and headache issues in that regard as well. And, of course, again, all your severe weather alerts and things of that nature made possible by Allegiance Health Network. A quick check of the tropical satellite, and I've zoomed it in. It's not. It is a higher resolution image, but it only goes so far out into the western Atlantic, so that's why the image cuts off there. But it's a better-looking image to take a look at a now pretty beefy Hurricane Gabrielle, a storm that has really, really bulked up and gotten organized, a well-formed eye, and the Hurricane Center now saying that we may be headed toward an eye wall replacement cycle. As you can see, the outer banding structures are starting to impact the island of Bermuda. Forecast cone with this now Category 3 major hurricane carries it now off to the north and northeast, eventually perhaps even attaining Category 4 strength later today once that eye wall replacement cycle is complete and the storm kind of reasserts and regains its structure and things of that nature. But expected to continue off to the east through the northern Atlantic and then start really headed toward Europe as a tropical or post-tropical system. Jacob, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Amy, hello as well. And Jeremy, yep. The rain chances sneak in, sneak out. They are sneaky. Check out the tropical development because it's not just Gabrielle. In fact, Gabrielle's not really a headache for us, but there are two areas highlighted, one a medium and one a high chance for development. Those are generally focused a little bit closer to the western Atlantic and into the east coast of the United States. Not necessarily Gulf hazards, but something that we will watch as we go through the next week or so. And you can see on the satellite what I'm talking about. There's Gabrielle on the far top side of your screen, and then those two waves bottom right that will be headed our direction. Forecast highs for the rest of the day, low to mid-90s. Again, no big surprises here, but we did bulk the rain chances just a tad from 20% to 30%. Winds will stay out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. And otherwise, if you miss out on the rain, it's going to be warm. Overnight lows tonight, low 70s. Upper 60s still attainable for some. A spotty storm early, but overnight rain chances drop pretty close to zero. And then a look at the 7-day forecast made possible by 3B Outdoor Equipment. Shows the rain chances back up to 30% for Tuesday, 70% with the showers and storms that sweep through the area on Wednesday. I think the best rain chances for Thursday are in the south and eastern sections, southeastern counties and parishes in the coverage area as we go through the day. And most of that would be fairly early. And then sunshine is back in for the weekend. Mid-80s for Friday. Probably upper 80s, maybe even approaching 90 by Sunday. I would think by early next week we'll probably firmly be back into the upper 80s to near 90, but morning lows in the mid-60s for a couple of days. Could see the upper 50s across southern Arkansas, so a nice little treat there as well. Leah, thank you for the anniversary wishes. Amber, hello. Martha, hello as well. And again, yeah, happy anniversary to the better half because she puts up with a lot from me, and you can probably imagine. Digital Weather Desk made possible to you 100% free of charge by the businesses that you see there on your screen. How do you take part? Simple. Just hop in, say hello, and share the weather content when needed. Obviously, the first couple of weeks of September were quiet, but as things get a little bit more active, we get deeper into kind of our secondary severe weather season. The only way that this information reaches folks to keep them safe and informed is by you sharing it out to the masses as well, and pushing folks to digitalweatherdesk.com, and of course the app that's upcoming. We provided an update on that this morning, and if I get any more updates, I'll pass those along as well. Thanks so much for joining us on the Digital Weather Desk powered by Century Next Bank. I'll join you again here in a couple of hours with a look at the evening forecast. Keep an